Welcome back. This is the Daily Brief. Earlier on, before we crossed over to the ruling of by the Court of Appeal in Kisumu in regards to the election of Homa Bay Governor Cyprian Awiti, we're discussing on matters lifestyle audit. And this is a move proposed by government to curb corruption in the country. And that makes for my final word with my panel here. I'll start with you, Martin Nati, all the way to Bernard here. The war on graft, how can we win this as a country? And of course, is lifestyle audit part of that journey?
We need to fully support the president and the multi-agency team that he is working with to get to fight corruption. Of course, corruption will try to fight back, and people will try to politicize it. But as Kenyans of goodwill and knowing what damage it has done to the country, we need to stand firm and support the president and that team so that ultimately we can see convictions and we see people going to court and getting convicted. When you have some of them going to jail, then Kenyans will be scared. You know, as we are talking right now, John Gakwa, the former town clerk of Nairobi, and P.S. Kirui are serving their terms in industrial area. So at least that is a message that has been sent out there. Then some of the people who have already been arrested have had to go through some grueling moments. So it's not business as usual. And a few people will try to make noise. The beneficiaries of graft, who are a few, they will naturally try to politicize it. They will naturally try to tribalize it. But there is no tribe here. Because if you look at even the KPLC team which has been charged, they are not all from the Kalenjin nation. It's just the top guy who is from the Kalenjin nation. Meso is Luya. So
why then would they argue that this seems to be a war against one particular
That is what I don't understand.
Okay.
In fact, CS Keter owes Kenyans an apology. Because
he says KPLC has lost some of its best.
No, who says so? Because KPLC has been run down. We know it. Look at your bill, Ian. You know what they have been doing, you know? They give you funny bills. They come and one time I complained, they gave me 64,000 shillings for my power in the village. Yet we have a young man.
Are you paying for the whole village? Or
no, that's what I was wondering, you know, for 3 months, you know. And what they do, when you complain, they tell you, no, just pay, then we will be able to look at it.
Okay, thank you.
Because after you have paid, you know, they'll never look at it.
Thank you, Martin. The one graft, Philip. Is the lifestyle audit the step in the right direction?
It is. It is lifestyle audit is an investigative tool. We are able to see whether the individual is living within his means, and if not, what else is it that is acquired. From there on, you can then build a case. To me, it is key, it is vital, and it must be undertaken if at all the war against graft is to be won. Personally, I would like to commend the new DPP and the president on taking this battle on corruption. I hope that at this particular time we will see the back of graft in this country. It is commendable that we have big fish in courts today, but that is not enough. Prosecution is only the beginning. We want to see convictions. We want to see watertight cases being presented before our courts. Convictions and recovery of property should be the end. Okay. More importantly, though, as much as we do have big fish before our courts, of course we know that the puppet masters are yet to land in court. One of them reared his head this week when he complained about his puppets being arrested. We hope to see the kingpins. We hope to see the godfathers in court.
The actual people behind the cases. Thank you. Bernard, kindly keep it as short as possible.
Okay. One, corruption should be a personal responsibility. And communities or ethnic groups or political parties should not be allowed to be tagged along or pulled along these political sentiments. If somebody steals, he steals and benefits his family and, you know, and his own. We have not seen a thief benefiting the entire community. Although somebody in Western, the other day we heard him saying that that the deputy president, if it's told that is accused that is a thief, is a good thief because he shares what he steals with the rest of the community. That was a very insensitive statement coming from a leader of that caliber, and we hope that not everybody is going to follow that suit.
Thank you.
In regards to what is happening with wildlife, I think somebody should be held responsible for the 9 rhinos that have died. I think even if it were in developed democracies, functioning
Heads
democracies,
would have already
would
been
have
rolling.
seen
Thank
even
you,
the
Fernand.
CS resigning and saying, let the probe take its own
Thank
course.
you very much. I've been speaking to political and current affairs analysts, Martin Ndati, as well as Bernard Uholi, as well as lawyer Philip Magal. Thank you very much for your time. We're crossing over to Kisumu now to just listen in to that particular ruling, and of course we're waiting to know the fate of Homa Bay Governor, one Mr. Cyprian Awiti. Let's listen in.
For the respondents. This submission by the first and second respondent confirms the trial court's finding that the third and fourth respondents' documents are authentic and came from the legal source, namely they came from IEBC. Accordingly, we find that the trial court did not err in finding that the documents tendered in evidence by the third and fourth respondents were authentic and came from IEBC. In our analysis of the record, having found that the documents put in evidence by the third and fourth respondents were authentic, we note that pursuant to Section 64 and 65(1) of the Evidence Act, the original statutory forms ought to have been produced in court by IEBC to establish the contents of the statutory forms used to declare results and to ascertain the accuracy and verifiability of the results at each polling station. We note that Senior Counsel Tom Ogenda for the appellant submitted that the documents tendered in evidence by the third and fourth respondents were hearsay documents. The trial court noted this submission at paragraph 67 of its judgment, where the judge stated that the third and fourth respondents contend that the petitioners relied on hearsay evidence from their so-called undocumented chief agent and have not shown any proof of their documented agents who allegedly collected the Form 37As from the polling station. The trial court further noted the contention by the appellants and the first and second respondents that the Form 37As put in evidence by the third and fourth respondents were forgeries. At paragraph 68 of the judgment, the trial court observes that, I quote, it is contended that the origin and authenticity of the purported Form 37As as provided by the third and fourth respondents are suspect, end of quote. On a comparative basis, it has been recognized that duplicate or originals have the same evidentiary status as an original. The duplicate in legal conception is an original instrument repeated. This is illustrated in cases where a carbon impression is simultaneously produced by the same stroke that creates an original. On a part, we disagree with the contention that the documents...
Well, that's live.
Well, we do apologize for that. And of course, that was a live feed courtesy of NTV following the proceedings there in regards to a ruling being read out for the seat of gubernatorial seat of Homa Bay County, where the governor there, Cyprian Awiti, is said to know whether the court will either uphold his election or nullify it and call for a fresh election. So she'll keep you up to speed on that as it develops. We have been following quite a number of stories, including the fact that President Uhuru Kenyatta is at the World Vision headquarters in East Africa, where he is seeing through the launch of the East African headquarters. World Vision says its agenda is to uplift the well-being of children in the country in line with the president's agenda the four agendas of the president. Certainly, shall keep you up to speed on these and other stories. Angela Gadsby will be joining you at the top of the hour during K24 Newscut to bring you these and other developing stories. My name is Ian Wafula. Our sign language interpreter for the second half of this live broadcast has been Mudoni Wagaki.